My name is Shah. Though at first I didn't have a name, there was only a smell, the smell of the earth, of warm air, of milk and my mother's breath, and also an expectation. I didn't know that word back then, but now I fully understand. They were waiting there for me. The world didn't begin with an image, nor did it start with a sound. It all began with the body, with the warm, dense, and utterly reliable body of the mother, to which one could press oneself so closely, as if absolutely nothing else was needed. I didn't think, I simply felt. People love to tell stories about themselves. Who are they, and why are they here? Why? We dogs don't do things that way. We just exist. And to be honest, that's enough. I grew neither fast nor slow. I grew just right. Each day brought something new. Light, which at first stung my eyes. Sound that was frightening. Movement that I wanted to repeat again and again. But most important of all were the people. I didn't know their words, but I knew their state. Some were afraid, some were rushing, some carried tension within, some emptiness, some love. That very same quiet love without a cry. Dogs sense it before they even learn to walk steadily. When I was first picked up, I didn't understand what was happening, but I understood the main thing. These hands were not dangerous. They were firm yet gentle. No clinging, no demanding, just holding. I didn't know then that the ability to hold without squeezing is rare. But my body had understood. I was being carried very far away. I had no idea what a country, a border, or even Israel was. I only knew one thing. The air was changing, the smells were becoming different, and there was a person right beside me from whom something profoundly important emanated. It's hard to put into human words, but if I were to try, it felt like a profound weariness, one that still held a flicker of hope, as if someone had carried something heavy for a long time and no longer believed they could put it down, yet they kept carrying it. I slept a lot back then, and when I woke up, I would just watch. I always watch them. People often think that dogs are looking at them because they're expecting a command, or perhaps some food, or even just a little affection. Sometimes they are. But more often, the reason we look is because we're checking. Are you still here? You haven't disappeared? Are you holding up? I saw her clearly for the very first time when I was already grown, not as the lady of the house, but as a human being. She was not a loud person, and she was never harsh. There was a profound sense of quietness about her. But it wasn't an empty silence. It was the quiet of someone who'd endured too much inside and learned not to let it spill out. Such people think they're unnoticed, but they glow differently. Not brightly, but deeply. I walked over myself. I didn't come because I was cold, but because it was simply the right thing to do. I sat down beside him and didn't meet his eyes. Dogs don't just look into your eyes. It's very personal. I sat sideways. That's how we say, I'm here, but I'm not intruding. She sighed softly, but I heard it. People don't realize how much they convey with sighs. This sigh was long, as if she finally allowed herself to exhale because someone was there, even if they didn't speak. From this moment I understood. My purpose was to be here. Not to shield me from the entire world, not to rescue me, not to try and fix me, just to simply exist. I grew up and I became much stronger. My body grew darker, it became much stronger, and it learned to move with confidence. People would often say, he's black, he's handsome, he's truly real, but I was simply just being myself. I understood one crucial thing quite early on, something that people sometimes tend to forget. True strength is not meant for aggression or attack. It takes strength to be able to bear another person's weakness. At times, she would sit down next to me and remain silent for a long while. At other times, she would speak her mind, or sometimes she would weep so softly. It seemed as if she hoped no one would ever notice. But I always noticed. I always pay attention. I'd rest my head upon her lap, not to console her, but to remind my body, you're not alone. It works better than any words. At night, I didn't sleep soundly, I slept lightly. These are different things. Sound sleep is for those who are calm, light sleep for those nearby. I heard her sometimes waking, not abruptly, as if something inside had nudged her. She didn't get up, just lay there and stared into the darkness. I would then lift my head, sometimes just breathe louder, sometimes I'd move closer. It's important for people to know that they are heard, even when they're not speaking. I don't know the exact reason why I was brought into her life. We as dogs don't ever ask questions like that. We don't go searching for meaning, we simply become it. But I know for sure, I didn't appear by chance. The world loves to connect those who can be close to those who need it, sometimes through noise, sometimes through pain, sometimes through a black dog that simply lies down beside you and watches. If I had been capable of speaking in human language at that moment, I would have certainly said to her, "There's no need for you to hold on. I will be the one to support you." But I wasn't speaking. I was breathing. I was warm. I was real. And that was enough.